Hi there and welcome to day 9 of my 6-week challenge. So yesterday again was a good day, and I think now most of them are going to be good. As I said before, the first week for me has always been the most challenging in any program or any kind of diet or weight loss thing I've ever attempted to do in my life. Has always been the hardest time in week 1 to get yourself out of some of your bad habits and to learn to deal with things. Now I'm just opening my door quickly to let the cat out because otherwise it will start meowing in my face and I don't want that right now. So I've not got much to talk about from the point of view of the psychological side of things because things are pretty good, but I will be covering some tricks and tips over the coming weeks which will hopefully help you guys when you start your own program or try this program in fact, which hopefully you will do at some point. But today I want to talk about calories and calorie deficit, and I talked a little bit about that in yesterday's video, that and insulin, but insulin's a broader topic that I actually need to talk to my wife more about to get some more information because that's one of her hot buttons really. But from the point of view of calorie and calorie deficit, there is no real science to weight loss and to rapid weight loss as well. It really is a matter of calories in versus calories out. Now there is an argument and a valid scientific argument about the types of calories and the types of macronutrients you might have. And we'll talk about macronutrients or macros in another video, but essentially they stand for fat, carbohydrate or protein, and it is harder for the body to metabolize proteins than it is, say, for carbohydrates. So it actually takes a bit more energy for it to actually metabolize a gram of protein, so actually you get more of a thermogenic, more of a burning effect if you eat a slightly higher protein diet, which is why the low carb, high protein diets have been quite popular and have actually been very good for weight loss or rapid weight loss. But that's not what I'm doing. That's not what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about here is calorie deficit. And the essential thing is that when you want to lose a pound of fat, you need to have a 3,500 calorie deficit. So 3,500 calories is essentially what there is in a pound of fat in your body. Now there's a few other little bits of woo-woo around that, which means that it's not an exact science, but give or take, that's a good benchmark. So if I want to lose 2 pounds in a week, I need to have a 7,000 calorie deficit over the period of a week, or 1,000 calories a day. So if I am a sedentary man, average person who needs 2,400 calories a day, then that would be, I would need to eat 1,400 calories, and that would then create a 1,000 calorie deficit, meaning I would lose or should lose about 2 pounds every single week. So if you extrapolate that up and you want to lose 4 pounds a week, you need to make 2,000 deficit a day, which would then give you 4 pounds of approximate weight loss. Now that's the standard thinking behind it. There are some other tips and techniques that can speed up that process and actually make your body burn fat as a preference as a fuel source, which is called ketosis, and we'll talk about ketosis in another video. There's also ways of eating which encourage your body to eat fat and also to grow and build more muscle, which then if you have more muscle, that burns more fat and increases your what's called your basal metabolic rate, and that is what you, if you're just sitting around on your ass doing nothing, what your body will just burn just to keep it going. And if you have more muscle, your body burns more calories just without you having to do anything, which is really cool, and which is why I encourage, if you're as part of your exercise program, if you're doing some, which I believe everyone should be, you include some weight or strength training to build some muscle. And you know, what kind of dude doesn't want to have a bit more muscle? You know, it makes us look good, makes us feel good, and it's not hard to do. And if you're eating in the right way and following a program like this, then you will build some muscle and lose weight at the same time, which again is really cool. So anyway, yeah, going back to calorie deficit. So ultimately, it's really just a maths game and just a matter of analysing what you eat versus what you're doing from an exercise point of view, and from what your body's burning as a standard rate per day. Now, we're not scientists. Well, you might be a scientist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor or a physician. So I'm not really party to be able to, you know, exactly measure everything myself. I mean, yes, I can, you know, have a good idea of what I'm eating and a good idea of what I'm burning exercise-wise, but that is why I'm a massive fan of apps and tracking apps. I use a couple of them, and I'll talk about tracking and food tracking in tomorrow's video and let you know exactly what it is that I like to use and that work incredibly effectively. Number one, from a point of view of tracking what I eat, and number two, from a point of view of tracking my exercise and what I'm burning every day. And so I've got a good idea of hitting my calorie deficit. My calorie deficit target during this challenge is 2,000 a day. It tends to be a bit more than that because I'm relatively active, because I walk my daughter to and from school. It's not a long way, it's only about half a mile, but I do that. Also, I have the pleasure of going to the chiropractor because I've got a dodgy back from an old rugby injury from when I was a kid. So I see her 2 or 3 times a week, and after that I have to walk for 25 minutes. So I'm getting extra exercise on top of my standard daily routine of exercise I do anyway, just to help during this process and during the program that I'm currently doing, and during this challenge as well. So anyway, that's me for today, and tomorrow we'll talk about tracking. I hope you understand the idea of the calorie deficit and what you need to do to lose weight. Just key things to bear in mind: 3,500 calories it takes to lose a pound of fat. So if you want to lose 2 pounds of fat in a week, 7,000 calories in a week, you need to lose or burn. That is knocking out 1,000 calories a day. And that gives you your rough maths for that. If you want to lose a pound a week, that's 500 calories a day. And that's what most traditional diets do, and why they take so damn long, and why I'm not a big fan of them, and why I believe most diets don't work. Hence the title of this blog, because who's got the time? Not me. And actually, who's got the motivation to stick on something for half a year to get results which you can get in 2 or 3 months? That's really the bottom line of everything I want. It's a life hack. Life's too short. I don't want to be focused on stuff like that. I want to be able to get the results I want as quickly as possible. And that's what this does for me, and hopefully can do for you as well. Anyway, I will speak to you soon, or I'll speak to you tomorrow, and we'll talk about tracking. So speak then. Bye.